Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show Podcast. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Ashley Ma.
I'm Ian Fuego here.
Producer Dave.
Susie Slaughter.
CJ Valenzuela.
I'm Andrew Mercer.
Marcia Parker.
That's right, guys. It took a hell of a long time to get around that table.
Seriously.
This is the biggest podcast that we've ever done here at the Horror Show, and forgive us for the echoey quality. We do have a single Zoom sitting on a table, but, that's not the point. The point is the content, right? So what we have here is a failure to communicate. But aside from that, I couldn't resist the quote.
Where's the Guns N' Roses?
What we have is two brand new people to the podcast, in case you didn't recognize those two names early on here. The first being Ashley Ma, and the second being CJ Valenzuela. And basically, these two ladies are here helping out the horror show, I should say. We have some cool goings-on coming up here at Phoenix Comicon 2016.
Yeah.
We are actually going to... Yes, please, by all means.
Hashtag paddles.
Thank you very much. Jumping in for Rainbow is producer Dave. We appreciate that. We are indeed running four panels at Phoenix Comicon 2016.
Bam.
The first of which is the Horror Show Presents Suite. That is Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. That is basically introducing the Phoenix Comicon audience to the horror show and showing our latest horror short, Suite, which is a vampire western based on a property co-created by Stephen King.
Oh.
A comic book property, which applies to CJ. CJ, you've heard of American Vampire, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So our short is Fuego plays the titular character Skinner Sweet. Or not titular, I should say, but the lead character Skinner Sweet.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's he cosplayed as him, and we did a short based on him, and that's what the first panel was about. So, yays all around. The next panels we've got going on are... We have a spotlight on Ash vs. Evil Dead called Appreciating Ash, which we'll be talking about on our video channel. Go to youtube.com/The Horror Show channel to check that out. We'll also be doing a panel called The Great Horror Debate Live, which, if you have been following our channel, we did a great horror debate in which two of our show hosts went head-to-head talking about some horror topics. We did 5 horror topics. Best... horror show or best horror icon, best weapon, things like that.
Mass death scene.
Best mass death scene, exactly.
And I will be judging.
Yeah. And Dave's going to be judging.
Producer Dave.
Rainbow is going to be hosting.
Yeah.
And Susie, Fuego, and I are all going to be debating. And Susie is finding out for the first time about all of this stuff. But Susie, you're a prominent player in that debate panel, so bear that in mind.
Do your research.
You guys are going down. I don't even have to research.
All right, fair enough.
Remember?
Fair enough.
A very confident candidate.
Oh, really? Oh, all right. Let's not go there. Anyway, the fourth and final panel, and also the reason for Ashley and CJ's presence, as well as being awesome ladies who we appreciate showing up. Oh, you're more than welcome. CJ has a little bit of history with the show. CJ, we've known for a little bit over a year at this point, or is it about a year at this point?
I think it's almost a year.
Almost a year.
Almost
Okay.
a year.
All right. It feels like forever, dear.
It does.
But basically, CJ, did you get onto us from the horror show or from the book starting off?
I believe it was from the book.
Okay.
From your Two-Eyed Cyclops book.
If anyone doesn't know, and I don't think in over 100 episodes we've actually discussed the fact that besides the horror show
related.
it's not horror show related, so I haven't brought it up. No, but it is relative now. Ha ha!
You finally found your
I
in.
found my in.
You're welcome.
Thank you, CJ. Basically, besides doing the horror show, I've written a few movies, feature films that have not yet been picked up, so do not look for them. But hopefully they will in the future. In addition to that, I've also written a couple of kids' picture books and young novels, but the kids' picture books specifically, and one of them called The Two-Eyed Cyclops. Don't steal it because it's already been published, bitch. What? Anyway.
Way to go, children's author.
I know, right? Yeah, well, hey, that's the dichotomy. I'm complicated. I've got layers like an onion. Basically, I'm an ogre. Exactly. Well, thank you. I jumped the gun. You didn't have to call me that. So anyway, I wrote a book called The Two-Eyed Cyclops, and CJ caught wind of it. I can't recall how. I must have posted it online.
You posted it in the group actually.
In the comic book group?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to that. CJ, you run a group on Facebook, and anyone listening to this podcast might very well be interested in it. So please, real quick, tell everyone about this group that I mysteriously popped up and poached your Facebook space to pimp my book, apparently.
Basically, I started a group and it blew up and became something awesome.
What's the name of the group?
It's called Comic Book Nerds United.
CBNU, baby! CBNU!
But we're just a bunch of comic book enthusiasts, and we hang out online, chatting about comics, recommending them to each other. We run a couple contests and stuff here and there.
Regular contests, as a matter of fact. And shout out to Gotham City Comics.
Yes.
For being a big partner, right?
Gotham City actually donates variants to us once a week, one of the latest variants that comes out.
Which usually go for around about 20 to 40, 50 bucks
Yeah.
sometimes,
that's
at
a
least.
small prize.
Yeah,
They do.
that's really nice of them.
They do.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, she runs this Comic Book Nerds United group. If you guys haven't looked at it yet and you're into comics, please by all means check it out. But I posted about my book, The Two-Eyed Cyclops, and CJ responded and got a copy of the book in a couple of different forms. So I was just really appreciative of her supporting the book. And she found out about the fact that we were going to be at Phoenix Comicon, and she came by, and she brought her family, her awesome husband Chris, and her lovely daughter Emma. Right? I wasn't sure. This is a weird thing, right? Because I listen to some podcasts, and sometimes celebrities don't want to mention their daughters or sons because of whatever. So I just didn't want to overstep. But your lovely daughter Emma.
How dare you?
Oh my god! I'm sorry. I feel like there was a red dot on my forehead, and
There's actually 3 red dots on
oh
your
my
forehead.
god! Well, he missed. All 3 of them missed, apparently.
They're usually pretty short.
Anyway, this was a very roundabout way of saying CJ's awesome, and she has found out about the horror show, via these sort of interactions, and now she's nice enough to jump on to the Supernatural panel with us, because what CJ has done recently is interesting. CJ, let everyone know what you've done and why you qualified yourself for adding yourself to the panel.
I was bad. I binge watched all 10 seasons of Supernatural in like 8 months.
Dedication!
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley.
That's seriously hardcore, though. I mean, we're not talking like an HBO 10, 12 episodes. We're talking 20 plus in all those
It's
seasons,
about
right?
22 to 24 a season, right?
That sounds arduous.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we'll get into all that at the panel. We're not going to take up a bunch of your time right at this moment, but that is where CJ's coming from. So I thought she was a perfect person to ask to join the panel. It's going to be myself and Marcia Parker.
Yay.
We're going to be running the panel primarily because we've been following Supernatural for the longest time.
Oh my god.
At this point.
Yeah.
And I knew CJ's story, and so I asked her to join, and she was reluctant at first. But I convinced her to do it with the assistance of our second new player to the podcast. That is the lovely Ashley Mall.
Hello.
Now, Ashley has a very unique perspective into the supernatural world because, frankly, she knows more than any of us could hope to know, probably put together at this point.
Yeah, no pressure.
And you better deliver, is all I'm saying.
Ashley always does.
Confidence.
But basically, Ashley, why don't you go ahead and let everyone know your history with Supernatural and your involvement with this panel. The latter part will probably be a little bit briefer than the former, but let's see what we got.
I started watching Supernatural maybe a couple years after I graduated from high school. So when I was in ASU, and I had called my dad
Woo
one
woo,
day.
ASU!
The
Shout out.
Devils!
Yep,
Yep.
Devils, yo.
Pitchfork!
I had called my dad one day, and he was watching reruns of it on TNT.
Oh,
and
wow.
he was just saying, "Oh yeah, I'm just watching this show, and it's sort of scary, but not too scary. But the music in it's really cool, and I think you'd really like it." And so I found the show through my dad and just watched. Started with reruns on TNT.
What
and then,
season was that? Do you know?
Oh my goodness, it must have been the 4th season.
Okay.
Maybe 3rd or 4th season.
Okay, so
and then I went
just
so
before we get into the angelic era.
Exactly.
All right,
It was right
all right.
before the overall story arc started taking place for the first 5 seasons.
Gotcha.
And I started watching the reruns on TNT, and I was like, okay, I'm so lost about what's happening. So I went back from, to season 1, and then binge watched like crazy, and then caught up, and then like just religiously watched since then.
How long did it take you to binge watch it?
Oh, yeah, like a week.
Oh my God! Wow.
When I was supposed to be going to class,
So you were
I was
sitting
like,
on a toilet the
exit.
entire time you were binge watching it with a fridge next to you, I'm assuming.
What is it? 42, 44 minutes without commercials. It's fine.
24
It's fine.
episodes a season, though.
Yeah, well, worth it.
Well, you don't know. I'm not saying it's not.
Worth it.
I'm just saying that's a couple of weeks in which your family and friends must have been
But it
like,
was
"Where's
only-
Ashley?"
But it was only like maybe 3 seasons at that point. So
Oh,
it
okay. Oh, no,
wasn't-
that's fair.
So
Okay,
it was
okay.
only like
Near the
3
back.
seasons.
Fair
It wasn't.
Fair-
it
I'm
wasn't
picturing
10
like
plus
I'm
seasons.
like you're just sitting there like I'm not moving.
chained to the couch.
I have 224 episodes and I'm not moving until they're done.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Change
okay.
my
I probably
bucket.
would
Yeah.
have.
Almost like
I
car
would have been
bucket.
wearing
Yeah,
Depends.
Bathroom bucket.
Bathroom break. More recently, my experience with the show has extended into their conventions. I'm a volunteer there. I work several of their shows. Most recently, Vegas Con, just a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
And so I get to, it's a very unique perspective of the actors, who they are in real life, and then who they are as their characters, and just the show overall.
And don't think we won't be leaning on that in the panel.
I'm happy to provide.
Well, that's good, and we appreciate your involvement. Thank you
Very
very
cool.
much. So hopefully by the end of this, both of you guys will realize that it was worth it joining us. I could be wrong, but if I am, fuck you both.
Too late.
Anyway, so the point of this particular podcast, you guys, is since we've got everyone involved, and in this rare instance we actually have everyone here, we're going to
whole
be
team.
going ahead and planning this Supernatural podcast, and then we're going to be following it up with another podcast. So stay tuned for
panel.
next week.
And then are we
Plan
going to
the panel
podcast
on the
about
podcast.
the podcast
Exactly.
about the paneling?
Oh my gosh.
And then we'll do a
It's going to be
audio reaction
the
to
inception of
podcast
podcasts, you guys.
inception.
Exactly.
meta.
Exactly. So, so stay tuned for that. But let's get into the planning, you guys. Now, at this point, the floor is open. We can toss out ideas. If y'all want to raise hands, fine. Whatever you want to do. The only idea that I'm going to say ahead of time is actually no. I'm
Wait,
going
before
to
you-
stop.
Yeah, I was gonna say before you, we're here to plan the kidnapping of Jensen Ackles and like to bring
Jared
him to
Pell.
yeah, right?
Mm,
That's this meeting. Am I in the wrong place?
No, that is incorrect.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm nodding. But no, what we should do first off is one of the things we wanted to do is provide prizes for whether it be supernatural trivia questions or perhaps a supernatural debate of some kind or anything like that we wanted to do. Again, all this was going to be planned here, but we got lucky with our Ash vs. Evil Dead panel. We actually connected with Stars, and we're going to have some actual Stars-provided swag for the Ash vs. Evil Dead panel. Unfortunately, CW hasn't been quite as forthcoming. They haven't gotten back to us.
Try CBS.
Okay.
Because CW is half owned by CBS.
Well, we'll see.
In any event.
I don't expect much more than that, but either way,
they have more money.
we weren't sure what to do. But luckily, one of our new players has stepped up and said that she might have a couple of cool prizes for people. So, Ashley, you want to talk a little bit about that?
I, having worked the Supernatural cons, I'm very familiar with a lot of the vendors that work there. So I'm hoping to get some donations from them,
Okay.
various artworks, jewelry, and the likes. Part of the benefit of volunteering at a Supernatural con is that you occasionally get autographs. So I have to offer the autograph of Matt Cohen, who plays young John Winchester,
Yeah.
as well as this guy you may possibly have heard of him, Mark Shepard.
Ooh, Crowley.
Miss
Yeah, King of Hell.
Crowley.
King of Hell.
Oh,
okay.
Exactly.
Those are the two I have so far.
That is
and
awesome.
Reaching out through the connections, I'm hoping to get some more.
That is awesome, and thank you a great deal for that as well, because you know, honestly, if we're running a Supernatural panel, having actual autographs of people from the show, that's more than we probably could have hoped for from the CW. by a long shot, I'd imagine. So thank you very much for that. Now, outside of that, before we get into the planning proper, the only thing that we were thinking of, and you guys can tell us if it's too much or not, especially ye Supernatural fans, but we think the panel should start with, I don't know if Marcia, this is what you were thinking, but I was thinking perhaps all of us walking out to Carry On My Wayward
No,
Son.
I'm thinking like it's dark and then the lights come on.
Strobe lights.
Yeah.
And we all just kind of bust out. Like,
But what, are we
dance number?
do we have like a big, are we like a football team busting through like a supernatural banner? Well, that is one of the things I think we should
We're
do.
the horror show. We're there to perform. We're there to
We're there to
celebrate
entertain.
Supernatural. Like we're supposed to be fans, and we want the fans to feel comfortable. I'd say.
We need
No,
a big
I agree.
opening.
I agree.
Flashy. That's my answer. Lights. Camera.
I would be the only person in the crowd, and I would stand up and like slow clap the shit. I totally would.
Admirable.
That was amazing, everyone. That was great.
That's
They're like,
that's
thanks,
an
but we were
entrance.
hoping it would have
Yeah,
been more
sorry.
than just to you. But all right.
Can we have the car like crash through at the very end?
I actually thought in my mind, I was like, it'd be so cool if we arrived via Chevy. You know?
I know a guy who has a '67 Chevy Impala. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Really?
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I've got a fog machine. We
Oh
can,
my goodness. All
we
right.
can make
Well,
this happen.
All right,
I'm making
fog
notes. I'm making notes.
Okay.
Ashley.
Impala.
Impala, yeah.
And it's done up, of course, like the
Okay.
show.
Really?
The trunk,
Fog machine.
Really? With the
Yes.
weapons and everything?
the weapons and everything.
Sick.
In fact, you guys, if you went to Phoenix Comicon, you probably saw it there.
Oh, yeah,
It's-
okay.
It's that car.
Whoa. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Let me
Gears
crack
are
some
turning.
knuckles here.
Underline and highlights.
Because here's the thing, you guys. What I wanted to mention is I was actually talking briefly with CJ prior to the podcast about this. I've never been to a Supernatural panel prior to this. So, Ashley, you might be sort of the benchmark for us. I want to make sure that we provide the coolest Supernatural experience for the Phoenix Comiconers that we possibly can. I don't want to make it cheesy.
No
And I don't
pressure,
wanna,
right?
I don't
No
wanna,
pressure.
No.
It's all on
it's
you,
not
but
pressure. No,
he's
no.
just like, listen,
I'm
it's just
looking,
what you're gonna
no,
do.
I'm looking for her
The weight of the
input
world's on my
to
shoulders.
possibly help us avoid any pitfalls.
No.
You know, I imagine we're probably not the first Supernatural panelists to want to come out to Carry On My Wayward Son ever. But you
And we
know,
won't be the last.
and we won't be the last by any stretch.
No.
But that doesn't make it any less
We'll carry on the
apropos.
tradition.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. We'll
Carry the
carry
torch.
Oh,
I
I
see
hate
what you
you.
did there.
But anyway, so what does everyone think of that idea? Is it cheesy or does it work?
It's just cheesy enough. So
I think
yes.
it's just cheesy enough.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
They do, yeah. It's the classic staple song.
Yeah, I figured.
Anything like AC/DC, anything Kansas, anything classic rock is gonna be a win.
Yep, that's true. So we need a walkout song as well. Anyone? Oh, I guess we could walk out to the same one. Might as well ring that same bell.
I was, for some reason, I was thinking we'd be sitting up there waiting for people to come in, I guess, but I don't know.
Oh,
That's
no.
probably not how you do it.
No. They have, and I found out, by the way, that all the panels are 60 minutes, not 50 minutes.
Okay, so 10 more. That's,
and they
that's
have
bumper time for us, man.
a couple of minutes in
We
between
could have like
to
4
filter
more
out.
songs.
No, absolutely.
Encore.
You know what might so let's I don't know, maybe everyone just tosses out ideas to start and then we can try and coalesce them into sort of, I mean, I have an idea of how we could do it, you know. We could start off with everyone sort of going through their history with the Supernatural show, just briefly, take a couple minutes. So we hear Ashley's, we hear CJ's, both unique. We can hear mine and Marcia's. And then the last person that's actually going to be involved, because he opted to commit, and now that we are putting this on podcast, which is releasing this Sunday, Fuego, you
Accountability.
are on the hook.
Yep.
Fuego said
I am
he's
the noob.
jumping in
Yeah.
as the noob, starting from scratch.
Yeah.
And he just got through the pilot
Fresh
this
meat.
past weekend.
Yeah.
So we do grant that he might not make it all the way through.
No way.
There's no chance, and we even know this. I'm going to get through hopefully the first few seasons, but the feel that I got from the pilot was I love Buffy. It has kind of a Whedon-esque, almost like self-awareness to it, which
But
I
it's a
enjoyed.
much smaller core cast.
Yeah, and also I loved him ridiculing his brother about the mullet music and stuff in the pilot. I just love that, and since that's the music I grew up on, I can see why your dad was like, I love the music in this show. You know?
Well, you gotta admit, Sam's girlfriend lighting on fire like their mom is
just
an
like the mom. It
intriguing
was
thing, right?
it took me off guard. I wasn't expecting it at the very end, and yet
for the panel.
yeah. But yet they had to have a foil for him to actually be willing to say, no, I'm not going to go to law school. I'm just going to, go do what I've been doing since I was a kid. And where the hell is Dad? And, at least the premise so far, I'm intrigued and I'm excited to watch it.
Well, and it's great as Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the father for the first couple seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, so amazing.
Same guy who was in the flashback at the beginning, right?
Trivia.
Yes.
Yep.
Trivia.
There he is. He's catching up.
Here's this transition.
I totally recognized him, but I couldn't remember what from.
Excuse me.
Watchmen.
Transition.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was the
Canadian.
Canadian. Ah, okay.
Trivia should be done,
He's
I
actually done a
think,
ton of shit.
Watchmen,
in a different
underrated.
way than it's normally done. So I think...
And by the way, you can curse on this, ladies.
I think
Fuck,
Fucking
fuck.
Shit.
you should have like a general... Like, people let people like line up for trivia.
And towards the end of the panel.
Yeah, towards the end of the panel, like set aside 15 minutes to do trivia and give away prizes and stuff like that. And either have like people line up, and then if they answer a question wrong, they're out. If they answer a question right, they go to the back of the line. And then you just go until you have like say 10 people left, and then you give them all.
Well, you just have to be careful about how much time, because people that come to a supernatural panel might know a hell of a lot.
That's what I'm
and it
saying,
might
like-
take
like-
a long time.
Yeah.
You could have tiers of questions. You could write out 50 easy questions, and then have 20 hard ones, and then 10 impossible ones.
Well, before we get to that, let's try and brainstorm the actual content of the panel proper. So, what do you guys think? Do you think starting with everyone's sort of personal history with Supernatural is a good way to kind of kick it off?
I think so.
I think, yeah.
I think
Keep it
introductions
brief, though,
will
I
be in
think.
order.
Yeah.
Because
We can keep it relatively brief.
Yeah, I mean,
an
like the sooner
introduction.
you get the audience involved, I think the better the whole experience is going to go over.
Well,
Personally.
that's true, but there's not a lot of panels that involve the audience outside of sort of Q&As and trivia questions towards the end. It's like there's only it's on
So are
us
you
to be
against
entertaining.
Yeah. Is
It's
there,
going to be. I
utilizing
mean, we've got a lot of
PowerPoint for it, or-
practice. This
No,
is
no, I know.
podcast number 101. So
Yeah, totally.
luckily, I'm not too worried about that. But I think largely, 45 of the 60 minutes should be us up there trying to entertain about it. And what's nice about panels is, to me, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but to me, panels have always been interesting in the same way that podcasts are, in that you want the audience to feel like they're in the room while you're having the conversation, and you want to feel like they're able to contribute even though they're passive listeners. And it's sort of the same with a live audience. You want to make sure they're entertained, but you want to make it feel like they're all friends and sitting around the table with us.
Definitely.
So I don't know. Any other thoughts off the bat?
What about okay? So we introduced ourselves. You guys introduce yourselves, talk a little bit about Supernatural, and then you kind of like launch into maybe a series of segments. So like each of you has something that you'd like to just bring to
That's
each
not
other's
bad.
attention. For example, like what were the 3 best episodes that featured X, Y, and what did you think of those episodes? Rather than
So each person has like a mini topic.
yeah, like each person has a little mini topic that can kind of go around the table once at least, and you can all kind of pitch in your own, and you can let each other know
Well, maybe
ahead
not
of
the
time.
top 3 then the
Or
top.
whatever.
What are your
That's what I'm
favorite
saying. Like
episodes
everybody,
that
each
featured
person
this
can have one
character?
thing about an episode or something like that, and then everybody else can kind of put their 2 cents in. Oh, you know what? And be prepared, right? Because you guys can tell each other what you're gonna say. So, or at least the general.
I'm gonna
idea.
either need to do a lot of Wikipedia reading or do a lot of fast forwarding on Netflix and just like double speed watching, because I've been watching since the beginning, or actually I think I jumped on in season 2, so basically since the beginning, but almost a decade at this point. And as it's gone, and I've never rewatched anything, so my knowledge is based over over a decade. You know what I mean?
Thank goodness for Netflix.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're
Well,
all
and
there.
thank goodness
Yeah.
for other
I'll just
panelists
swing
that I
in
can
the
lean
middle.
on.
How
you know?
about a simple topic? Or okay, so
I like that. I like each
Yeah.
person sort of having a
It
mini
makes it more
topic.
conversational if you're
It
all
does.
like, one thing I really loved about this show is Dean's relationship. Obviously, I'm just saying
That could be-
the brother
My
relationship.
topic might be
This is what I
Dean
this is,
crying
you know,
moments.
Yeah.
Because
And you're
that's
just gonna talk
like, what's your
about
favorite
it
Dean crying
instead
moment?
of-
There you
That
go.
might
I'll
be.
actually-
I'm gonna make a note because
Okay.
I like that.
Crying moment.
So that's
'Cause
one,
there's a
one
lot of
good
good
way
ones.
to approach it. I just had a thought though. I mean, maybe each person have one episode in particular
Yeah.
that they just
A favorite episode.
yeah. Well, I mean, not even so much favorite episode. Maybe like
Or a
most
story arc.
prolific
One they
or
want to talk
most
about.
or most
Like a
one that you
specific spot in the story, and you can kind of sum up the general,
Like the
plot
moment
of the
you
story.
started to not like Sam.
Oh God, Moose.
Moose.
A particular. Okay, so each person chooses a particular episode.
that they'd like
I'm
to
not
spotlight
even
and
saying
discuss.
that. I'm
you
so
know.
mad at him.
Are you really? Because he
I am.
keeps making bad decisions.
Or the moments where you're actually proud when they do something right.
Oh
Well, it's
yeah.
because there's
Instead of
so few and
fucking it
far
up.
between compared. Oh, it's awful.
Okay,
But you
sorry,
can't help but
yeah.
love it. You can't help but love it.
Tangents, yay.
Okay, well, ladies, anything coming to mind for you that you might want to talk about?
Favorite Crowley moments.
I mean, hey, that could be your topic. You know what I mean? Like, I like that idea. I think everyone having
Like everybody
maybe
come,
a couple
come
of
with a
backups.
question to ask everyone else and have your own answer to it.
Now, my question to everyone at this table is: should we tell each other ahead of time
Yes,
what said
definitely.
questions
Oh, yeah.
are,
I
so
think
we can?
so.
Okay,
Yeah, you don't want to
absolutely.
throw everybody
Yeah.
off. Like,
We don't want to waste the
Uh,
audience's time
it's
trying to
almost
think
like
of an
one-
answer.
Well, if we
That's
have-
right.
Have
Yeah.
time, you can have a secondary one to try to throw everybody off, for fun.
Maybe.
Because it is
For
supposed to be
funsies.
fun, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's true.
Well, I was
So-
going to say it's just like having a production meeting before you go to a live broadcast. You know what all the topics, all the bases you're planning to hit, and then you just kind of riff on it, but still
Yeah,
have
we
that,
don't need, like,
have
a
that
script.
preparation.
Right.
No,
right.
no,
Right. No.
no,
No.
no.
Yeah.
Almost like bullet points, so to speak,
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
familiarity with all of them.
I was
So
about to say, if you're talking about a specific event, you can kind of generalize what's going on in the story at the time, get people familiar with what it is, and just kind of hit main points.
Now, my question is, because in the description, I think I mentioned that we were going to be mainly covering the most recent season and then looking forward to season 11.
I was going to say we should do something about conspiracy theories about
About what's going to
What's
happen
gonna
going
happen
forward.
going
Because the finale will have been on by the
Yes.
time we have the panel.
And I actually have an idea to maybe lead into that, where since it's a show that has such loyal fans, that you guys that have watched it for so long, for so many years, do you guys remember internet rumors? Like, if you could do the top 5 internet rumors about Supernatural over the years, or
How
something
about-
like
how
that, and
about
then
maybe-
leading into the
Or
conspiracies
how
over
about
next season.
favorite non-show supernatural related sort of things? Because one of the things that I really liked doing was watching people's reactions on YouTube to the 200th episode. I really liked seeing fans react to the fan episode. So, something like that, maybe that it's not directly show related, but adjacent to it, something like that.
I think that'd be
That'd
good.
be fun.
Okay, let me write that down. Someone else jump in.
It's definitely a unique fandom because everyone, I don't know, 10 plus years just about, there's going to be, and I would think we should assume that anybody who's going there is going to have the basic knowledge for Supernatural because it's been on so long
Right.
that, I
And to
don't,
go to a panel
about it.
if you're not already a Comic-Con person and you're just kind of going, you're like one of those people who just going to go to see the sights, you wouldn't be going to the Supernatural panel. So if you're going to the Supernatural panel, we assume that you're a
That
fan, you've watched at least one episode. Maybe you've only watched the first one and you hate it so much that you're there protesting
As a
or
troll.
something
And
like
there's
that.
Supernatural actors that are going to be at Phoenix Comicon,
Correct.
Yep.
so there's going to be a bigger draw. And then the Supernatural Con is the weekend after Phoenix Comicon, so which I think gives it a little bit more of a draw as well.
And by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed when you looked at the poster what our time is, but it's that Friday at 6 p.m. That's prime real estate for panel because that's right before the floor closes.
Yeah.
And
There's not much
so
else to do.
people are going to be filing out anyway and looking for something else to go to. So that's going to be good for us. I'm anxious to find out how big an audience it's going to be. I think it's
I'm
going to be
curious
our
about
biggest
too.
panel.
what's the capacity
sure.
of the room that they're giving you?
Actually I think that might be the bigger room, isn't it?
240?
Because we got assigned one room for 2 of the panels, and no, I think it is the B one. I think it's the 128B.
There's a 131AB.
129B.
No, 129AB. That's the same as Ash versus Evil.
Yeah, it's the same as Ash
So
vs.
they're-
Evil Dead.
Yeah.
100.
The Great Horror Debate is in the 131AB. So that's, I don't know if that's bigger or smaller or not, but
And so we're sweet again.
we haven't been assigned yet for Sweet.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so 6 p.m., you know, that's going to be pretty nice for us, I think.
Take note, listeners. If
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Phoenix,
Write it down.
At Phoenix
June
Comicon,
3rd.
June 3rd, 2016, 6 p.m., North Building, 129B. That's where you're going to find
I
it.
hope you had your
Right.
notepad ready.
Absolutely. One more time.
don't-
That's
you
June
don't need
3rd,
it.
2016, 6 p.m., North Building, 129B.
Or just go to our Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, and you will see it on there.
Absolutely. Okay, moving right along.
Okay.
So since we've talked, right now
plugs.
just a quick reiteration. Number 1, we've got personal histories. 2, we've got each person has a mini topic. 3, each person chooses a particular episode to talk about. 4, each person talks about a non-show related or non-actual show but supernatural related thing, event. You know, something like that.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I
Write
mean?
it
I just am
down.
not saying it
I know what you're
correctly.
saying, but you haven't got the wording just right. You'll get there. You'll get
So,
there.
all
I think
right.
by the end of this, you should have like the key phrase.
So at that point, I think we should probably get into season 10, right?
Yeah.
Do
That
you
would be
think?
good.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
because already by that point, that's 4 different things, and if each person is presenting a topic, shit, we're going to be almost a half
Yes.
hour into it at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
So in fact, we may want to rearrange the order of these things towards the end of this planning thing. But let's just
We're
get
just
down
writing- yeah,
all
we're
the
just
things we
writing.
want to do at this point.
Brainstorm.
So season 10. I don't know that we need to do a recap per se. I think better than a recap, each person talking about what they liked in this season would be best.
I think that's
And
good.
And I
good.
think there's only 3 of us that'll be talking
I
at
think
that point.
anything that just summarizes will end up being boring.
Yeah,
I agree. I
'cause
agree.
everybody there is gonna.
But there is,
watched it.
and they will have watched it exactly, except
Hopefully.
CJ and
And
Fuego will
mostly
have
watched
not.
it.
That's why reactions to specific events will probably
Yeah.
be better as opposed to summarizing huge.
Exactly.
So
season-long
you know what
plot
might be
points and
fun.
Stuff.
You know what might be fun is to tell the audience ahead of time. Okay, guys. So here's what's going to happen right now. We're going to talk about season 10 of Supernatural, which is just finished a couple weeks ago. And here's how it's going to work. Us 3 have seen it. These 2 have not. So the way you're going to want to experience this panel is you can watch us talking about it, or you can watch them reacting to us talking about it.
That was the idea that you mentioned, where if I mentioned like such and such a character, and you're like, no, they're dead, or
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because he'll be
Ongoing
like
joke.
3 seasons, he'll be like, oh, I really like Bobby. I'll be like, Bobby's dead.
Oh.
Oh, I really like this
La, la,
person.
la,
Oh,
la,
they're
la,
dead.
la, la, la,
Oh, I
la.
really like this person. Oh, no, they're dead.
You can say that to almost everything.
I know, exactly.
say
If
that.
it's not
That was why I was
7
saying it
days,
could be
but
an
even then
ongoing
you're
joke.
like, well, they've been dead.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm thinking. They'll get back. Like,
Yeah,
they'll get
yeah.
back.
Everyone in the show has been
Everybody
dead
gets
at some
died.
point,
So
basically.
as of the moment of this podcast, there are 234 episodes of the show.
Oh wow!
Oh, you
and you're
could-
on
you could knock
episode
that
1.
out.
That's a staggering
Piece
number.
of cake.
You can knock
Well,
that
I'm
out,
just
bro.
doing the math in my head right
I'm
now
totally
about
gonna go
either
back.
4
I
or
was
5
actually
episodes a
thinking
night.
about it the other day. Just
I've been
You
rewatching
can't go
it.
part time, man. You gotta go
Going
full time.
through.
I know.
Yeah,
There
at
are
least
some
8 hours a
characters
night.
that
Well, I
I
have
really
40
miss.
hours
I
a
wouldn't
week.
I
mind
have all
watching
my
it.
others.
Still gonna
I've
take
been
5
rewatching
weeks.
them
I'm actually
and
putting all
been
the
watching
Fuego
them
Ten weeks.
treatment
all
on
in.
hold.
Yeah.
Oh my
The time
God.
being out.
10
Shut
weeks
everything
full-time
else
job.
down.
Yeah,
And you're still 34 hours short.
it's true.
That's like a season and a half.
Get to cracking.
Okay, keep going. I'm almost done with my note here, guys.
All right. So what about presenting? Because
I actually really like that approach. I think that'll be funny for people.
I think so too.
Actually, check it out. 4 episodes a night for the next 60 days.
for 60 days. All right.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny
It's
if
2 months
if a
until
little
then,
bit-
man.
You're
4
not-
episodes a day? That's not very much.
do it.
It's
Are we
like
gonna
8
have like
hours,
bets
man.
on
Yeah.
nobody? Should we sort of bet right now? See if he actually gets it done.
I actually think I can.
You think you can knock it? How many days was it?
In 60 days, 4 episodes a day, 240 episodes.
Oh, you can knock that out.
And if you watch Netflix on your phone, you can put your phone in
I
your pocket
guarantee.
while you
Here's the thing. So this is a
You just
daunting
have the
task.
headphones in, listening
just
to.
Like
listen
right
to the
now,
show.
Why the fuck aren't you watching it right now.
Yeah.
That is something that you were a stickler with me about, besides the fact that I'd like the music. And
I
the
did
tone and
ask him.
stuff.
No. Let's be fair, because yes, there are people that try and multitask while binging shows.
Well,
but
I did just get done
asked-
binging all 7 seasons of Tales from the Crypt and reviewing in the month of October alone. That shit was intense.
But I asked that if Fuego was going to contribute to the panel and watch episodes, I asked that he did not do that. I asked that he pay attention to the episodes the way that I know that we all have, so that way it's not sort of a half-watch kind of situation.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I don't think that's out of the realm of what I should be asking.
No, not a chance. And I
would rather you
in-
watch less and
Yeah.
watch them all correctly than watch more half-assed. You know what I mean? That's my personal opinion on
It was a lot tougher with Tales from the Crypt, though, was because after each 3 episodes, I was sitting down and doing a 15-minute video, then editing that, and so this will.
Well, you don't have to worry
This
about
is just
that.
watching.
This
man,
is just watching and notating.
This is a cakewalk in
exactly.
comparison.
Exactly. So, okay. So we can discuss season 10, and what do you think? Our instead of recapping, should we just go to favorite moments?
moments.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Reactions, favorite.
Maybe at the beginning of the panel, there should be some sort of disclaimer that spoilers are just going to happen if you haven't. If you're not
Spoilers.
current.
Just like
Spoilers,
on
how
the
dare
door.
you.
I
That's
feel
true.
like
That's true.
Just put a
it
sign
goes
on the
without
door that
saying,
says
but
spoiler
people-
alert.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
it.
we can actually
There's
say
a spoiler
we can
alert.
say there's going to be spoilers in the panel, but we'll let you know when we're getting
should
to
be like
that point.
earmuffs.
Because honestly, with all the stuff we're
Then
going
you
to
can
talk
say whatever
about,
you want.
There you go.
with all the stuff we're going to talk about, they can probably still watch a half hour
Yeah.
of the show and not get spoiled with anything.
Well,
for
and
season 10.
there's so much to spoil,
I
so we may
know.
not spoil the thing that for them.
Exactly. Okay, so favorite moments from season 10, and I guess that would pretty much cover with character beats and things like that, right? Because again, it's a 60-minute thing, so once we get through all of that, that'll just be the 3 of us talking, so that might not last as long as the other segments.
Yeah.
So that's a nice thing about it, I suppose. Beyond that, I think looking forward to season
To
11.
season 11.
Guesses and
Or even season 12, since I heard that
well,
they
yeah,
are
'cause
renewing
11
to
They renewed it
12
for
and
2?
13, I think.
They did. They just renewed it. along
Wait,
with
so
pretty
are they
much everything
finishing
else
season
on the
11 or
CW.
season 10 right now?
It's
So
in
it's
season
season-
11 right now.
Season 11 right now.
Yeah, it's season 11.
So you guys are up on season 10 then. Or,
Oh, yeah.
well, you are.
Yeah.
Season, okay.
Yeah.
It's season 11 now, and then
Okay.
just renewed for 12 and 13.
Okay.
The show
Epic.
must go on.
Epic.
It's the
Forever.
only one that can't die.
Forever.
Well, it's
Yeah.
interesting about it too because the show keeps going, and I heard, I think it was Jensen Ackles talking about it one time, how it's different from other shows that went this long. Buffy, Supernatural. Supernatural stopped at 10. Buffy stopped at 7. So neither of them made it this long. But
But
they had an ensemble, so not everyone had to be there every
mean
single
Smallville?
day.
Smallville?
Small.
No.
What'd I say?
Supernatural.
I meant Smallville. Thank you.
Talking
Yes.
I was all like,
David speaks Drew.
And
or
I didn't
Cecil,
even
so,
watch that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I forgot what I was saying.
Ensemble.
Oh, because they have to be there every day filming, basically, because they're in almost every single scene. So it's a hell of a commitment for them, and they must have backed up the Brinks truck in order to pay them to continue through 2 more seasons. 'Cause, man, that's a lot of time they're spending filming this show. But,
Yeah, the only day they don't film is like Sundays.
it's crazy, right?
It's crazy.
And it's them all
And
day
films
long,
in
every
Canada,
day.
right?
Canada, yep.
Yeah, British
Vancouver.
Columbia.
I mean, but that's not such a bad place to be,
No, I'm not saying
from what I understand.
Well, I'm gonna get from Canada.
Um,
So I was just looking at some notes here on Wikipedia about the show. So there was a spin-off that was planned at one point, and
And they
Western
did a backdoor
Bloodline.
pilot. They did a
Okay.
backdoor
I
pilot.
was just seeing if there was
Bloodlines.
anything else in context to watch along with the regular series.
No,
So,
no. The
Yeah.
backdoor pilot was
It
in
wasn't
the
picked
show
up.
proper, and it did not get picked up.
gotcha. So
Right.
they did film it. Has
It-
been
yeah, it's in the
seen
show.
by-
No.
It's part of the
What I
season.
mean by backdoor pilot, yeah,
Hmm.
it's an episode of the show proper that they then use as sort of like, here's what a spin-off could be.
Yeah.
I see.
So that's why it's called a backdoor pilot, because it's
Interesting.
actually in another show rather than being a pilot on
Trying
its
to
own.
piggyback.
I
exactly.
see. Okay.
So
Just curious.
yeah. So I don't know, guys. That looking forward to season 12. And 13, I guess I should say. So I don't know. I mean, beyond that, am I missing? Or I guess just go to the audience for trivia. Beyond that,
I think so.
Yeah,
I
we-
think by
I
that
think-
point, we'll be cutting it close on time, depending on how long trivia will last.
that's what I was thinking too.
I actually have a different
Supernatural trivia is,
suggestion.
like,
Okay.
intense.
I was actually, just to go with my whole trying to keep the audience like involved sporadically throughout as opposed to just all at the end, I'm thinking maybe you could have a question tailored to each of those different topics we're hitting and ask a trivia question periodically throughout.
In between each.
Exactly
in
right.
between
In
each-
between.
What
between
about
each
for you
segment.
guys?
Yeah.
It's like you're doing like your favorite moment from the show ever, right? Kind of like going around.
Mm-hmm.
What if you have the audience guess, and if any of them you have a bunch of people guess.
So you give some hints about the episode?
Yeah,
and
you could say when the season is. Give a general idea.
who can be fastest on
I
the
don't,
that
know
might give it
having-
away.
I don't know if having them guess at something they don't even they don't know us
They don't
or
know us
anything like
personally.
that. Yeah.
We can ask them what their favorite
That's
moment
what I
is
was
and have
thinking.
like
That would
a
be better.
question box like as they come in, and that way we can just kind of randomly pull out answers. And
That's
be
a
like,
very good idea.
so-and-so.
Okay, let's write that down. Question box. Well, there's a lot of different entrances is the problem.
Well, that's
Yeah,
fine
yeah.
because while people are getting in
We
there,
can
I
direct
could
them.
literally be going around and handing people little pieces of paper
There
and
you
a
go.
pencil.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
There's
while we're
different-
talking, you could actually just go through some of the questions and pick a
Just
few to
kinda
ask
pick
us.
out.
Yeah.
Okay. So question box.
I hand them off to you.
Questions. Wait. Not question box so much as they're
Yeah, so
putting
much
down
as, like,
their
a survey
favorite.
box.
Yeah, survey
Yeah,
box.
it'll be a little
That
questionnaire.
easier.
Favorite moment, favorite episode.
Yeah, there you go.
Favorite
Oh, there you
character.
We're
And
questioning
how many
them.
times have you masturbated while watching?
And we're gonna pull them out, and we're gonna pull. Wait.
Awful.
Wait,
I am totally rushed out.
Hashtag something, please.
Girls are wild.
It's only proper if you hashtag
Good
it.
lord.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Anyway,
Wow.
that's silence the
Yeah.
room.
Like, we're
Yeah.
talking about putting
Silence.
their questions in a box and pulling off like a raffle.
No,
like,
no, no,
Puts
no,
the
no.
question in the
Literally,
box.
I'll
or
go
else-
around. I'll go around to the audience and I'll hand out little
Yeah.
sheets of paper that they can
It's
fill
just a
out.
lot. You're gonna have to collect all the sheets
Yeah,
of paper.
I don't
too,
know
and
about
And
a
I'll be like,
survey.
hand it forward.
I think just
pass
like
them
a
down to
question.
them.
Yeah, pass it
aisle.
down.
Or
Hand it
just
out.
throw it out there.
We can
like,
work out the logistics.
Ask them a
and-
question
I'll
and
take
they
care of
raise
it.
their hand. And
I think a
like,
question-
Like, I got this.
I can handle the crowd.
Okay, I actually think audience question that Dave would pose to the entire panel, and then whoever feels most comfortable to respond, just jump in.
Yeah, like almost like a panel moderator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moderate.
Okay.
Well, that's what
Well,
you're kind of
isn't that-
acting as.
no,
right?
Moderate
Come
the
on.
hell out of
What?
that.
Do that,
What's your name as a
shizzle.
moderator?
That's a debate.
Oh, the debate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
debate. No.
Something else.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's
Not to
that's
get
kind of what I was
befuddled.
thinking. Like, you guys will be able to get started and everything like that, and then once I get through everything.
They will
Yeah,
take
since you're
over.
not gonna be
take their reins.
talking like throughout, you're gonna be like periodically.
The other thing is
jumping
there
in.
is there a,
no, he's not
could
on
we
the stage with
could
us,
we
so.
talk to your is he going to bring the car to the Comicon?
Last I heard, he was going to have.
Because maybe we can
asked
go
for
up to
it.
him and say, hey, can you have people fill out this questionnaire for
At the
Supernatural? And we could put the panel, like where the bucket we collect the
That's a good idea.
questionnaires.
And we can advertise the panel by the Impala too.
That
That's what I was
association
thinking,
would be
and-
top
Yeah.
notch.
you know.
That's
Yeah.
just a
that
better way
would
to
be,
spread
I
the
think,
word.
very doable.
Yeah.
Not just that, but
Okay.
could we use
Write
our
that down.
social media outlets to pose questions beforehand and maybe get...
Well, we're definitely going to use it to light the fire and spread word about it.
Yeah.
You know, different like Facebook groups and Twitter it up and all that jazz. But
So yeah, so that'll be the audience, kind of participation, and then maybe what we can do is we can draw from the pot people to ask trivia questions to, and they get a chance.
Okay.
If they miss one question, they get it wrong. If they answer one question right, then they get to get another question. And then
How many we ask is kind of dependent on how many.
Well, here's what I was
sort of
gonna say.
prizes we have, and we can go around on Thursday and perhaps pick up an extra couple of prizes for the panel
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
from
that'd
the
be
con
smart.
itself.
Because stuff will be for sale with the actors. there,
Exactly,
you know, so
exactly.
that'll
Well,
be a-
especially
it'll be a presence.
because Lucifer is going to be there,
Mm-hmm.
Mark Pellegrino. So I'm
So
sure
he
there'll
was
be some
from
Mark
that show,
Pellegrino
and now
things.
he's on the new Lucifer show, or
No,
No,
he
he
plays
plays
Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Oh, okay.
Supernatural, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
He's the
Spoiler.
devil.
Newbie.
You'll see,
You haven't met
Fuego.
him yet.
You'll
You'll be there
see.
No.
Yeah, and Kane's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Timothy Ombudsman.
Derp.
Who?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
To
Kane's
tea,
gonna be there.
Right on. That's very apropos of season 10 then.
Yeah, exactly.
That was all about the Mark of Cain, right? Season 10?
Season 10, yep.
Had to
That's
be.
season, right?
Do
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
homework.
season 10?
'Cause that was- that was-
Yeah.
That was Demon Dean.
Yeah.
It was
right?
he was
Spoiler.
La la la. Earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
La la la.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, guys. Is there anything we're missing, or do you think we should close out with the audience trivia at the end? I think that's probably... Oh, no. I had another idea.
Whoa.
And you tell me if it's worth putting in there, or skipping, or ending with it. I think we should have a Supernatural cosplay contest. And have a grand
Everyone's
prize.
gonna cosplay as Cass the Helens.
Well,
That's the best cast.
yeah, well, no, then we'll say, hey, listen, there's 40 Casses here, so your chances of winning are better if you're not Cass. But no, I think the cosplay contest would be a good idea. What do you guys think?
That could
And I
take
think
up
we
a
should
decent chunk of time.
cosplay
It could.
I think we should
What I'm
go.
thinking is, if you guys, we
Maybe
mentioned
have
at the
people
beginning,
start to-
towards
yeah,
the, we have them start to line up
maybe
Yeah.
30
closer to
minutes
the
in.
end of
That's
it.
what they
Yeah.
did for the Groovy Bruce panel.
Oh, is that what? Okay.
Yeah. He did a
So,
costume contest and Ash costume.
I got the
contest.
crowd. I'll take care of the crowd control.
Dave's a crowd control guy.
Yeah.
so what do you think? All in agreement on the
I can crowd
cosplay
Absolutely.
contest? Okay,
I can
supernatural.
do
Yeah.
that.
And that's what I think we should probably, depending on what you end up getting access to and what we get from the con, we can obviously substitute in prizes on the day of if we need
Sure.
to. But I think, as of right now, we go with the Crowley autograph as the grand prize, unless we end
Yeah.
up with something bigger, better, or anything like that.
I might be able to get Misha Collins' autograph. So.
Yeah, that would be a hot ticket too. That would probably
Pretty
be the win one, right?
Yeah.
Is Castiel the most popular character on the show? Pretty much, do you think, in your estimation?
I would say definitely up there.
I think so. Too.
I would.
Top
He's
5.
almost taken top 5 out of like 5 people.
Right.
I think Mark Shepard is definitely.
He's up there. Too.
He's
Crowley's
really,
my favorite
really
personally.
Up there.
So.
He's super up there.
All
And
right.
then another fan favorite lately is Osric Chow, who plays
Really?
Kevin Tran, the
Really?
prophet. I think it's because when he goes, he's always like cosplaying and everything too, and he just walks around and hangs out with people.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that would make a difference to a fan for sure. All right. Well, you know what? I think that's a pretty damn good base for our supernatural panel.
Yeah.
What we're calling Super Duper Supernatural. Of course, if you guys are listeners of the podcast, you know that we've done 2 podcasts about Supernatural in the panel, which were called Super Duper Supernatural Part 1 and 2.
You and MPH
So
did
this
those,
is
right?
basically a live version. Yes. Marcia
Yes.
and I did a couple of catch-ups. So this will be nice. This will be basically, we will record it as a podcast and a video episode of our channel. And it'll be sort of a nice third catch-up on Supernatural.
Yeah.
But any final thoughts on it, guys? Final ideas that we want to throw out there before we close it out?
I have one other topic suggestion because
Oh.
Ozzy Osbourne is still playing in my head because of you guys. I think you should have a favorite musical moment on the show.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I haven't even watched it yet, but everybody has
Well,
told
that's a
me.
good
Yeah.
mini
It's pretty
topic. If
big.
someone
Everybody
wants
has
to shoot,
told
you,
me
want to,
that
you
they-
should make that your mini topic.
There it
Cool.
is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
There it is.
Because
one.
yeah, I know what mine would be. Mine is the credit scene
Ah.
where Jensen is.
I the tiger.
Earmuffs.
I got to sing
I know,
that with
earmuffs.
them.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, you got to mention stuff like that on the panel for sure. Make sure you mention any cool. Like, I'm going to basically say, okay, and by the way, guys, Ashley has full reign to just stop the
brag.
proceedings. Very much like Mark Wahlberg in Doug Loves Movies, Dave. Ashley can stop at any point. Okay, story time! And then everyone will hush, and she can say, okay, I got to sing this Eye of the Tiger with the boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something. So definitely, I'm going to give you
Yeah.
carte blanche to do that. And if I
Rising up
don't
above
don't remember
the
to say that, please remind me
Just
ahead
be
of the
like,
panel to do that.
Smack
Yes,
this
no,
mofo
please.
like
I'm
bam.
giving you right now in front of everyone full permission to please remind me if I do not remember, because I would love to do that.
Make it so.
Make it so.
Make
Make
Alright.
it soul number 1.
Throw that down.
All right. If no one's got any final thoughts beyond that, am I right? Everyone good to go?
No, no thoughts.
Bueno.
Well, thank you very much, Susie. I appreciate you being a part of this panel.
Susie's here.
They should come
We
to
love you,
I love you,
Susie.
See, I can be quiet.
She's gonna slaughter all of us now. You know this, right? Sorry, guys. The panel's canceled. We're all gonna die.
All right. Well, let's call it there, guys. Thank you very much for listening to the Horror Show podcast. I've been Cecil Laird.
Ashley Mall.
Gracias, Jaime Fuego.
Producer Dave.
Susie Von Slaughter.
CJ Valenzuela.
I'm Andrew Mercer.
Marcia Parker.
Oh my God, so long.
Once
right.
around the sun.
And remember, everyone, stay scared.
Phoenix
Carry
Comicon.
on my wayward soul.
There'll be peace when you are